What's the fastest way to grow your income? Make yourself less necessary. I know that sounds backwards. The old way of doing business, trading time for money, building everything custom, keeping clients dependent, that model is dying. Let me show you what actually works. Most people think that keeping clients dependent is good business. But here's what I've learned after 17 years. When you can take a client from confusion to clarity in weeks instead of months, using a diagnostic that adapts to their exact situation, that's when you realize you've been undercharging. Let me show you what I mean. I've spent the last year developing what I call Hammond, a deep dive diagnostic tool that pulls 18 different frameworks together, depending on the inputs. And it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. It actually changes based on audience type, price points, business model, even the owner's personality. Now, yesterday, one of my coaching clients copied my entire membership site setup. 2 weeks ago, he was stuck doing everything manually, and today he has a system that works without him. But this is what made it possible, my diagnostic. It doesn't just identify problems, it creates customized solutions that get delivered as ready to deploy Google Docs. So there's no generic templates in this, no cookie cutter advice. Every single output is custom. And the system is built specifically around the client situation. I mean, in the past, this level of customization would have taken months and cost tens of thousands. And now I can do it within weeks at a fraction of that cost. And I just realized that I probably should be charging 5 times more. Before I show you what works, let me just tell you about what doesn't. Most consultants are using AI like a faster Google. They ask ChatGPT or Claude to write their sales copy, create their content, build their funnels, generic prompts, generic outputs, generic results. And I see it all the time. Someone pays $5,000 for a sales page that reads like every other AI-generated sales page. Same structure, same language patterns, same lack of personality, same formula that's been trotted out for the last 5 years. And this is what I do differently with Claude and other AI tools using my own system. I don't use them to create, I use them to extract and amplify. So when I analyze a client's business, I'm not asking AI write me a sales page for a business coach. I'm feeding it transcripts from their best sales calls, their customer testimonials, their unique methodology, their delivery calls. I'm asking it to identify patterns, extract language, and find the emotional triggers that already work. And then I use Hammond to determine which of the 18 frameworks fits their specific situation. AI doesn't choose the framework, my diagnostic does. AI just helps me implement it faster and more precisely. And this is why I'm effective where others aren't, because I'm not replacing human expertise with AI. I'm using AI to scale human expertise, and there's a massive difference. So most business consultants use the same framework for everyone, and then they ask the same questions, give the same advice, and build the same systems. It's like a doctor prescribing the same medication for every single patient. It might work sometimes, but it's not optimal. Hammond works differently because it asks different questions based on your business model. No two client gets the same diagnostic survey. A $100,000 solopreneur gets a different analysis than a $2 million agency. A B2B consultant gets a different framework than an e-commerce brand. So the diagnostic looks at 18 different areas, but it doesn't analyze all 18 for everyone. If you're a service business, it focuses on recurring income models and client retention. If you're product-based, it emphasizes conversion optimization and fulfillment systems. Here's what Matthew said. I followed James for a couple of years before hiring him, as I loved his no-nonsense approach and practical advice. And when I was finally ready to work with him, I was blown away by the amount of value he provides and his incredible depth of knowledge. The difference is specificity. Generic advice sounds smart, but it doesn't actually work. Specific systems designed for your exact situation, well, that's what transform businesses. So here's something I learned from 17 years of running recurring revenue businesses. Most consultants are stuck in the old model without realizing it. They think scaling means more clients. Wrong. Scaling means better systems. From my client calls, I see the same pattern over and over. Successful businesses hit a plateau around usually 500,000 because they're still trading time for money, and they are the bottleneck in their own business, and it is capped purely by the hours they have available. And here's what I help them with. You don't need more clients. You need clients who generate recurring revenue. You don't need to work harder. You need systems that work without you. So one of my recent clients was running a successful consultancy, but doing sales calls like 20 hours a week. Great revenue, terrible lifestyle. Through Hammond, we identify the expertise could be packaged into different programs with a much better profit margin. And this was the real key insight from this transformation. We didn't just move from one-to-one to group. We automated the entire front end. So there was two components. There was the back end fulfillment for capacity. Once we've done that, we go for the front end. Prospects can now educate themselves through the content. They can pre-qualify themselves through the diagnostic and often pre-sell themselves through case studies, email automation, and a VSL. By the time they book a call or just order, they're not asking if they should work. They're just asking how to start. And this is what I mean by business model optimization. It's not about working harder or finding more prospects. It's about creating systems that attract the right people and convert them efficiently. So many people are building marketing that attracts the wrong people, which is a complete waste of time. So here's what most consultants do. They just waste time. They're starting from scratch every time. New research, new copy, new positioning. I do the opposite. I access their existing call recordings from their best conversations, every objection, what specific sentences they're using, every single story that closes deals, every piece of language that resonates with their market. And then Hammond turns them into ready-to-go assets. They get a VSL. It comes from their actual sales conversations. Their email sequences use language that's already proven to work. Their landing pages address objections they're already handling successfully. Another client, Lee, said, James truly changed my life. Within just a few weeks of working with him, I transitioned from one-to-one coaching to a scalable group program. I launched my community membership and gained the clarity and confidence to finally leave my job. Awesome. That transformation happened because we didn't reinvent everything. We extracted what was already working and systemized it. So most consultants think custom means starting fresh. Well, I've learned custom means taking what's proven, amplifying it through the right frameworks. So speed is another factor, and it isn't just nice to have. It's actually pretty cool. And what most people don't understand about AI is it's not going to replace all consultants. It's just going to separate strategic thinkers from tactical doers. From my client calls, I'm seeing this split happening already. The consultants who focus on doing tasks like writing copy, building funnels, managing campaigns, they're getting commoditized. AI can do that work faster and cheaper, but consultants who focus on strategic diagnosis, framework development, and systems architecture, they're becoming more valuable, not less. And this is why AI amplifies good methodology and exposes bad methodology. If you've got proven frameworks, AI makes you faster. If you don't have frameworks, it just helps you fail faster. And that's why I spent the last year developing Hammond, because it's not just a diagnostic tool. It's a methodology that works with AI and not against it. When I analyze a client's business using Hammond, I can identify their core constraint in minutes, not hours. When I extract their voice from sales calls, I can create customized copy very quickly. And when I build their systems using proven frameworks, they can deploy it very quickly, as fast as their team can install it. So your competitors are still doing 6-month engagements, custom everything, built from scratch, endless revision cycles, or they're just spitting out overused templates and frameworks. And while they're planning, you're deploying and optimizing. Another client told me, when you're running a solopreneur business, it can sometimes feel like you're by yourself and trying to read the label from inside the bottle. James give you that much needed outside perspective that gets you moving forward. So the speed advantage compounds. Fast deployment means fast feedback means fast optimization means fast results. Fast results means happy clients and strong testimonials. I am constantly taking my top performing socials, my top performing thumbnails, my top performing podcasts, and putting it back into Hammond to optimize the next stage. And here's something I've learned that most business owners resist. The best thing you can do for your business is to make yourself less necessary. I know that can be a blow to the ego, but I'm not saying irrelevant. I'm just saying less necessary. From my client calls, I see this happen a lot. Successful entrepreneurs become prisoners of their own success. They built something pretty cool. It's working. It gets bigger. They're putting more time into it. They're rejecting their family. And now they're so personally involved that their identity is the business. And it's very hard to step back from that. The solution isn't just delegation. It is strategic delegation combined with system automation. So I'm always helping clients identify what I call the 64-4 principle. That's most of their results, 64% of their results, are coming from 4% of their activities. The other 96% of their time is creating just 36% of their results. I mean, you could cut a lot of that and it wouldn't really change things. Here's how this works in practice. In my case, for example, at the time I'm recording this, I just had one of my record months. And this is also happening for clients. One of my clients was spending about 15 hours a week on admin that could be handled by a $15 per hour virtual assistant, or we could build a tool that actually does it for them automatically. I have several people in a certain industry where I've taken a manual process and we've built a tool set to have that happening instantly. Sometimes you have to connect a few things. You have to hire a consultant to make that happen, but it is possible. That is a huge amount of CEO time. I imagine for like $15,000 worth of CEO time spent on a few $100s worth of admin or SaaS API calls. But delegation without systems is chaos. You need processes, frameworks, decision trees, and you need what I call an operational document. So this is where AI becomes incredibly powerful. I can take a client's best practices, extract them into a step-by-step process, create training materials for their team, or we can automate it. The result, they're working on their business, that cliched saying, instead of being drowning in it. And they're focusing on strategy while systems handle the execution. And it's not really just about time management. That's such a trotted out phrase. It's about leverage. And when you're personally doing everything, you are the limiting factor. And when you have systems and teams doing the work, your impact can scale exponentially. So let me just tie this all together with something that most consultants completely miss. If there is one thing to remember from everything we've covered, it's that speed, specificity, a little bit of automation, and these systems are the new consulting advantage. So we're not just in an AI revolution. We are in a business model revolution. You're going to hear a lot about business models because AI changes the paradigm. The old way of doing business, trading time for money, building everything custom, keeping clients dependent, that model is dying. I think that's why we're seeing a rise in communities as well. That's why I'm very bold on community. Things that are face-to-face or live have a high value, like my weekly mentor calls. So the new model is about creating systems that generate value independently of your personal time. I wrote about this in my book, Work Less, Make More, but it's still the case now. It's even more so the case. Use AI to amplify proven methodologies, not replace human judgment. It does hallucinate. It does spit out garbage from time to time. I pity people who don't have expertise or judgment because they're not going to know if the output's any good. But if you are a good consultant or you are a business owner, then you will know that this is good or bad. And if you are producing these things, you need to keep an eye on that. It is about speed and customization, but it's also with a quality control framework, which is incidentally something I built into my machine as well. We want things to work together, not against each other. And this is the critical insight from all my client work. Businesses that thrive in this new environment won't be the ones with the best tech. They'll be the ones with the best frameworks, deployed through the best systems, optimized by the best data. And there are two skills that I think are critical if you want to master AI. One, you have to be an impeccable communicator. You have to be able to communicate well with your tools. And two, you have to be a great leader. You have to guide it when it goes off track. You have to give it feedback and update and context, show it good examples, exactly what you would do with a person. That's why Hammond isn't just a diagnostic tool. It's not just a sales and marketing tool. It's not just a strategy tool. It's not just a YouTube script maker tool. It's a complete methodology for the new economy. Now, this is what I want you to think about if you've gotten this far in this episode. How long does your current consulting process take? Or how long does your business ownership process take? how much customization are you really providing versus generic solutions with client names swapped out? I mean, this cut and pasting, we spotted a mile off in our LinkedIn DMs, don't we? How fast can you get clients from problem to deployed solution? My clients get from old to new within weeks because the diagnostic identified exactly what they need. They find out the bottlenecks, the choke points, and the frameworks provided exactly how to build out of it, even down to a checklist. Here is a 30-point checklist, which if we tick all the boxes, you'll be saved. Speed plus specificity plus automation and systems. That's what's the combination that is transforming how this all works. So if you want to see this technology foundation I use, well, for one thing, if you want to get a copy of my membership, join Click and ask for a Schramko install. I was going to charge thousands for this, but right now you can actually get an exact version of the website and membership that I use. If you get Click, you pay for that Click license, you ask for a Schramko install, it will be a fresh install. You can't do this if you already got an install because it will wipe out whatever you had. But if you're starting fresh, you can have the exact same membership layout that I use. And I've developed this hand in glove with Click for probably a decade. And if you mention this podcast, you'll also get the mobile app add-on for free. If you're a new user to Click, ask for the Schramko install and the app add-on. Mention this podcast, 1133. And that's just the technology side. On the Hammond side, that diagnostic system that tells you what to build and how to customize it, well, that's currently only available when you work with me directly in Mentor. I don't give you the logins to the tool. I use the tool and I work with you. I will hand guide you the whole way through all of the prompts, giving me what I need. I'll give you the assets. You deploy them, your business will change. That's at jamesschramko.com and you'll be able to find your way to Mentor there. You can join. There's no audition to join like some people ask for. At the same time, I'm not auditioning. Don't ask me for a phone call to see if you should join. Send me an email instead. If you mention this podcast, then I'll make sure that we're on the same page, that I know what you expect, because I do lots of other things in Mentor too. That's just one of the things, but I'm happy to help you build out your next business model iteration using that tool set. I have spent my entire career building the knowledge to create this. I've spent years thinking about where consulting's going and business is going when these tools arrive, and they are here. And I realize it's absolutely true. You ask the better questions, you get the better outputs. If you're going to build systems or frameworks or use tools, put better inputs because that will amplify your expertise. And my client who copied my entire setup, he didn't just get the website. He got a complete business operating system because he's a Mentor. He got the same foundation, but everything was customized to his voice, his market, his constraints. We did a new offer, a new VSL. I even wrote his playbooks from his client calls. And that's what can happen when you combine the magic of diagnostic precision with AI amplification and rapid deployment. And he's a fast mover too. To his credit, he just moves quickly. The old model of consulting is dead. 6 months engagement, generic solutions, manual everything. It's finished. So if you want your business to work harder than you do, if you want some help making that happen, get in touch with me. Let's do it. Join Mentor. I will be putting the price up. I cannot sustain this current price level. At the time I'm recording this, it's $1,800, but I'm absolutely certain we're moving to about $2,500 within a month or so. So get in before I do that if you're listening to it now. If not, well, it is what it is. Let me show you what actually works for your specific situation. And just to end on a funny note, Hammond helped me write this podcast episode based on the notes from my own client calls. It's observing what we're fixing, how we're helping people, and brought it into a podcast that I can share with you so that you can see what we're doing. This is close as you get to behind the scenes in my business. But I think the big innovation here is I've finally decided to let you have a copy of my membership. Join Kleq, it's kleq.com, ask for the Schramko package, get the free app, see what change you can make in your business.
This is James Schramko.